All right, we are back up. Had some mild technical difficulties. Power did go out, so we had to quickly reset, get everything up and going again as quickly as we could. And I do apologize for that. That was outside of my control of exactly what happened. And we are going to continue to try to get this stuff up while we are here. And we are down to 5 teams. Team 4 Dark has 14 eliminations. So they are definitely putting in some work and they are bringing the heat. All right, Manic down to 1 player remaining. We're going off against a solo, going against quite a few teams that are still kind of the full squad and or a duo though. Rain Esports Team 15 is our team that has a full squad moving into the last few zones. Actually, the last zone here. So they do have a really good advantage of being a full squad. All right, hopefully y'all kind of see what I see. Okay, so that's there, that's good. All right, cool, we are locking and loading. I think we got everything back up for you guys, so. All right, it looks like a Dark is actually still alive. Still 1 member remain. We got 2 teams remaining, and that is Rain Esports and Dark. This is a 4v1. And Dark is throwing them grenades. Gets a drop. Does he get another drop? Almost, and is down and out long range. Nicely done by Rain Esports coming in first with that chicken dinner. D22 going all out with 7 eliminations. Best companion goes to Juicy from Manic with 3 revives. Definitely was working on keeping that team alive. And then the finisher, Player 10 with the Rain Esports. Nicely done. Dealing that final kill, giving them the chicken dinner for match number 1. We'll get you here very quickly, very momentarily, back into the action here on with match 2 headed your way. All right, match number 2. We're going to be here in Myanmar. Myanmar is now one of the larger land maps. Not a lot of water around, so we're going to see a lot of these teams kind of slow down after match number 1 here. We're going to see them kind of slow down a little bit because there's a lot of land mass here. And it's also a sniper's paradise. There's a lot of high points, a lot of hilltops that these teams can get and kind of oversee quite a bit of the area. One of them is the San Martin hilltop here. Definitely is a very well high point that they can look down into Hacienda. There's also a couple of other good ones as well, kind of the Picado area. This chain from San Martin all the way down to Picado is a very high point. Could definitely see some teams kind of get there towards the end if we get a zone kind of towards the San Martin area. We also got a couple of other high places. We've got some high buildings in Los Llanos. Now we're coming out of the truck stop area, going right over to Los Llanos, and going all the way down to Del Mar. And it looks like we could kind of had almost a 50-50 split here, with teams kind of going towards the southeast to the north. You know, we got a lot of teams that are kind of pushing towards that San Martin, Hacienda area. And our very first zone is going to have El Pozo in it, along with Hacienda, San Martin, Picado. Those areas, San Martin, Hacienda, and Picado, are going to be hot spots with this zone. We do have El Alzar. We do have 2 teams over there in El Alzar. We'll hop over to them in just momentarily. We've got a couple teams in the Picado area. We're going to jump right in on this because we do have 3 teams. Sinners already down to a team of 3 with 1 elimination on the board. All right, Team 8 starting match here with being a team of 3. They have a 1 elimination on the board for their team. A Dark, very low in numbers now. They are going to be moving forward as a duo after losing very quickly here 2 of their members. Moving it right along here, we have a team of 21, Entity Gaming. They do have currently 0 eliminations on the board, but right outside of the front door is going to be Team 19, Team Control Star. And they are up a full squad. They do have Control is down. Let's see if they should be able to get that revive. That should be a very easy revive if they drop back. But it looks like they're going to be pushing this onto Entity Gaming here. All right, Ace and King are both down, along with Hunter. And it looks like Team 21 is going to be taken out. Entity Gaming. And then they're going to be our first team out for match number 2. Moving right up into El Alzar. And Team 11. Invincible. And it looks like they're going to be down to just a solo. SK. There did get a long range drop. Going up against Manic, and Team 11 is going to be down and out. They are going to be our second team out for match number 2. Followed right there behind is going to be Team 10. NeverMind ESports. All right, our team's still inside of Avocado, are battling it out. We'll hop back over to them here in just a few. HexFall is down a member. They're going to be pushing forward as a team of 3, but right outside their building is going to be Team Fate. And Team Fate is very quickly surrounding them. HexFall here. HexFall may be in a little bit of trouble. They are sitting in 2 of their buildings. In 2 buildings here. So at least a good grenade, maybe even a molly. We could see one of the members of Fate throw a molly in there in one of the buildings and be able to get a knock there. We're going to quickly head over to 4 Sexy Frogs. They got 3 eliminations. And they are still sitting a wonderful team of 3. And Fate does now have 1 elimination. All right, Fate is quickly moving in. Vampire is down, and can they get the revive? And Meow Meow is down and out. Optimus is down and has very quickly been eliminated. HexFall now stands as a solo and is down and out just that quick. And Fate putting 4 eliminations and 4 points on the board. And Sinners are kind of holding up the 3rd level here inside the building. All right, 2 members of 4 Sexy Frogs are inside the building with Sinners dark as across the way. And Dark looks like it's going to be as a solo right now. Definitely can see trying to pick the fights here. Maybe even potentially go for 3rd-party kills. And problem there, it gets an elimination. All right, 4 Sexy Frogs up to 5 eliminations, and they are sitting as a team of 3, and they have wiped out 5 players already. All right, Team 18, Velocity standing out there inside the blue zone. Hopefully they are going to be able to get a vehicle and move into zone, but we shall see how it's going to play out. Again, that zone is not very far from them, but as soon as the zone does start moving, it is going to start hurting quite a bit. For Sexy Frogs, they have 5 eliminations still, and they do have a member down. Hopefully they can stay alive. Dark is definitely working here. All right, we do have scores for after match 1 here, and we will get those onto the screen for you here just a second, so y'all can see where these. All right, here it is. Rain Esports coming in second, but they did take that chicken dinner for match number 1 Dark with 14 eliminations, giving them a total of 12 points. Rain 1 point behind with 19. X-Rated coming in third with 12. Manic coming in fourth with 12 points. Entity Gaming coming in fifth with 7. Velocity coming in sixth with 6. Locse coming in 7th with 4. Team Fate coming in 8th with 3. Invincible coming in 9th with 3. Sinners coming in 10th with 2. Real Gamers Esports coming in 11th with 2. Team Control Star coming in 12th with 2. Team S coming in 13th with 2. 4 Sexy Frogs coming in 14th with 1. HexFall coming in 15th with 1. Vikings coming in 16th with 0. And then you have NeverMind ESports, Afro ESports, Extreme Rain, Naple on top, Infinity, next elimination, and Exo Assassins. And we're going to get y'all back here in that action here for you guys. Our teams are still making their way into the zone. We do have an El Pozo, Hacienda, San Martin, that area. So we do have quite a few high hill points. Let's go check out Team 15. Team 15 is going to be Rain Esports. They are still sitting as a full squad. But as you can see, they are up here on a mountaintop. So being up here definitely does give them an advantage. They are able to see long range and distance and see where these teams are going to be rotating and moving in. Heading right over into Vikings ESports. Full squad, currently at 0 eliminations. We are down to just 10 teams that remain for match number 2. Alright, for Sexy Frogs with the 6 eliminations. They're going to be making their way into zone as well. We have Fate that's making their way into zone. Alright, Team 22, Team S. Not very far from a Fate, so we could see a little bit of action here as they are, both these teams are going to be making their way into the zone. And Spence is down and has been eliminated. So Team S is going to be moving forward as being a team of 3, but as they try to make their way in, Team Fate is going to be right there waiting. I'm back with the Vikings. They are kind of a dead center of the zone, so they're going to be quickly getting set up where they can on this little bit of a hilltop here that will allow them to be able to see long range a little ways out there and be able to quickly coordinate on when these teams are going to be moving in and where they're going. All right, X-rated with 1 elimination, but they are sitting as a team of 3. And Team S has been eliminated. Fate now coming up to 8 eliminations. KD 22 kind of pinned down just a little bit behind a very small rock, but is definitely inside of that zone. KD 22 getting a little bit of shots there. Looks like K is going to be moving in along with a 505. They're going to be quickly moving, pushing in on Fate. Looks like this is going to be kind of a 2v2. Vampire with the DBS in hand. Ace is down. Can Vampire hold it? Alright, Vampire coming in with a very quick revive. Definitely need to be able to keep the team alive here. And that grenade definitely did some damage. And a 505 rolling in deep and was quickly able to get that elimination. And now X-Rated is up to 5 eliminations. For Sexy Frogs, Problem is down and is being revived by Snow. For Sexy Frogs with 6 total eliminations. Alright, we've got Rain moving in to zone with Manic. That is kind of... They are definitely split here, these last 2 members. Beautiful grenade there. I believe that grenade was by Problem. Gets the grenade out and is able to come back and grab that revive. 7 teams that remain. And a Vusker with those mollies. And team control star down and out. That's going to be giving Vikings 4 eliminations. And player 10 is down for Rain. Alright, 4 Sexy Frogs, 7 eliminations, sitting as a duo. They are definitely holding up their own for these first 2 matches, as they did come in with being just a team of 3. X-rated, getting some more of those points on the board. They're now up to 8 eliminations with 505 with 5 total eliminations. And Velocity sitting as a solo now. And is definitely inside that center zone. And great shots. It does get that drop, but is not going to be able to get that elimination. All right, just 4 teams remain. And Vikings, they have a full squad, so they're going to be outnumbering most of the remaining teams. Ooh, down to 3 teams. And Blah Blah had been hit really hard and is able to heal back up, drop behind the little bit of hill there, and get healed up very nicely. Alright, X-rated it coming in really quickly. Alright, 505. Alright, we got 2 teams remain. Vikings, this is going to be a 4v2. And a 505 down and out very quickly there. Vikings coming in first with that chicken dinner extreme rate or X-rated coming in second. Velocity coming in third. 4 Sexy Frogs coming in fourth. Real Gamers Esports coming in fifth. Coming in sixth is Rain. Control Star coming in seventh. Manic coming in eighth. Coming in ninth is Fate. And Team S coming in 10th. I'll say Afro Esports coming in 12th. The Afro Esports coming in 11th. Dark coming in 12th. Sinners coming in 13th. HexFall coming in 14th. Locse coming in 15th. NeverMind coming in 16th. Invincible coming in 17th. And Entity coming in 18th. 505 going all out with 5 defeats. Best companion. And Choo Choo coming in with that 1 rescue. Choo Choo giving the finish, final kill, and giving Vikings their chicken dinner for match number 2. All right, we'll get y'all here very quickly here back into the action for match number 3. Y'all hang tight. All right. Match number 3 here. Back here in Erangel. All right. We are coming out of Novorepnoi all the way up through Yasnaya Polyana with a Severny and a Stalwart kind of towards the end of this flight path. Now, we could definitely see a lot of these teams kind of jump into the Rozhok School, Pachinki, even Yasnaya Polyana. We might see a few teams kind of go into Severny. But with the flight path being so far east, we might see a lot of these teams kind of jump towards the west side, kind of trying to get out to the Georgia Pool area, where there is a lot of good loot for several teams there. And right off the bat, we do have quite a few teams jumping down into the military base, so we'll keep an eye on that area as they do make their way down to ground, where they can quickly grab the stuff that they need. It looks like we could have potentially have teams going to the school area. Might even have a couple teams go into Pachinki. All right, centers are definitely there, right there in the school area. All right, HexFall starting out match 3 here, being a team of 3. All right, HexFall definitely pushing very quickly, and they do have 2 eliminations now. And Center's going to be our first team out because they did start out as a duo. All right, we still have quite a few teams that are left. Let's see where they all stand. We do have quite a few going on here inside, definitely still inside school. Quite a few teams over in the Yasnaya Polyana. Let's go hop over here with Velocity. They are still standing as a full squad here as Dark and Team 20, Team Fate that's over there with them as well in the Yasnaya Polyana. But Fate, has already dropped down to being a solo. All right, with Positivity Energy being the last one still standing for Team Fate. And 505 is down with X-Rated. X-Rated does have 3 eliminations, and 505 is very quickly back up on their feet and is healing up nicely here. NeverMind ESports, 0 eliminations, and they are sitting as a full squad. So we're going to have a full squad versus a full squad inside the school apartments. All right, let's get those scores here up for after match number 2. All right, here it is. Rain Esports coming in first right now. This is after game. This is games 1 and 2. They did pull ahead with 26 points, closely and exactly tied with 26 points is going to be X-Rated Dark coming in third with 21. Vikings coming in fourth with 19. Velocity coming in fifth with 17. Tied with Manic with 17 points as well. 4 Sexy Frogs coming in 7th with 14 points. Team Fate coming in 8th with 11. Coming in 9th, Team S coming in 9th with 10 points. Team Control Star coming in 10th with 8. Entity Gaming coming in 11th with 7 points. Real Gamers coming in 12th with 5. Locse coming in 13th with 5 as well. Invincible coming in 14th with 4. Sinners coming in 15th with 3. HexFall coming in 16th with 2. Afro ESports coming in 17th with 1. NeverMind Extreme, Naple on top, Infinity, Next Element, and Exo Assassins all follow with 0 points. All right, we've got action here with Rain Esports. They do have a member that's been dropped, but they do have 3 eliminations right here off the bat with them. Bot goes down, and a bot has been taken out really quickly there. One XP coming in with a quick revive, and is going to be able to get SIL back up on their feet. So they're going to be moving forward as a team of 3. And 505 back up on their feet, fully healed up. Extreme or X-Rated with 6 eliminations. X-Rated being a full squad still. They did get KD22 has been dropped. Stranger down and out. X-Rated very quickly down to being a duo team. Control Star. Let's get y'all here in the... All right, back into that action. That was very weird that the game crashed. Get y'all here. All right, we still have our teams there inside school battling it out. Real Gamers with 5 eliminations on the board. We're down to 10 teams that remain. Team of Fate out there in the blue zone is still sitting as a solo. We got Team of Velocity that is out there as well. And it looks like we've also got Dark out there as well. They're sitting as a duo team. All right, it is going to be Dark and Velocity that are staying out here in this blue zone. Hopefully these teams do have plenty of meds so they can get into zone. And a Ronaldo. Very nice. Ronaldo with a couple of eliminations there, bringing a Dark up to 6 total eliminations and being a team of 2. Moving forward, they are out there in that blue zone, and this blue zone is going to definitely start hurting here very quickly. Manic with 0 eliminations. They did roll right on top of Real Gamers. And Real Gamers are down and out. Manic coming in and getting 3 eliminations on the board. Team 21 quickly. Entity Gaming comes in very quickly. Looks like they're going to be taking out Manic. Manic is going to be hurting extremely bad. Vortex, the last one that still stands. Can he hold his own? And he's down and out. Entity Gaming now up to 6 eliminations. Five teams just remain in our zone. Does shift, keeping Gatka and the Corey inside this play zone. And our teams are going to be rotating in here very quickly. We do have 5 teams that remain. Vikings with 1 elimination, but they are sitting very nicely inside of the zone, waiting patiently for these other teams to kind of make their way in. All right, Rain moving into the zone. All right, Dark is still out there in that blue zone, but they look like they have vehicles, so they will be making their way in. We have 4 teams that are inside the very next zone. XP with some shots there. Forever getting some shots in as Rain does make their way into the zone. Forever is been dropped here. And Rain is got a couple members down. And Rain is quickly down and out, it looks like. And Forever is going to be revived. That's going to be keeping Team 19, Team Control Star, up to a full squad. And our zone does shift with a handful of teams, about 2 teams that are still out, that after this rotation they're going to be out there in that area right before the blue zone. Entity Gaming kind of playing it safe here. They are kind of taking their time. Nice drop there by Hunter. Hunter does get some more eliminations for the team. Gonna be putting them up to 8 total eliminations. We have 3 teams that remain. And we got Vikings that are going to be making their way into zone here as well. And Entity Gaming has lost one of the members. They did lose Ace. And OP could be coming back. We hope he does. So that way that Entity will be a team of 3 instead of a duo. All right, these 3 teams are starting to slow down a little bit and not push into that zone unless they have to. All right, Hunter getting team control. They are inside the zone, patiently waiting for these other 2 teams to kind of make their way in. And blah blah, definitely got some shots there. Vikings are already just that quick, are down to a solo and have been eliminated. We are down to just 2 teams that remain. And team 21 down and out. Team control getting that chicken dinner for match number 3. Entity coming in second Vikings coming in third. Dark coming in fourth. Rain Esports coming in fifth. Manic coming in Manic coming in sixth. Real Gamers coming in seventh. Velocity coming in eighth. Fate coming in ninth. Locse coming in 10th. X-Rated coming in 11th. 4 Sexy Frogs coming in 12th. Afro ESports coming in 14th. And HexFall coming in 15th. And Invincible coming in 16th. Team S coming in 17th. And last but not least, Sinners coming in 18th. All right, we'll get you here into match number 4, our last match for tonight, here momentarily. All right, while we're waiting on the room to get there, for everybody to get into the room, let's go over the scores here really quickly. Rain Esports coming in top with 33 points. X-rated 1 point behind with 32 points. They are coming in second. Coming in third is Dark with 31. Viking ESports coming in fourth with 26. Coming in fifth, Team Control Star with 24. Entity Gaming coming in sixth with 23. And coming in seventh, Manic with 23 points as well. Velocity coming in 10th with 21. For Sexy Frogs coming in 9th with 16. Team Fate coming in 10th with 12. Locse coming in 11th with 12 as well. Team S coming in 12th with 12. Real Runners Esports coming in 13th with 11th. Invincible coming in 14th with 7. HexFall coming in 15th with 4. Sinners coming in 3rd with coming in 16th with 3 points. Afro Esports coming in 17th with 2. NeverMind, Extreme Rain, Naple on top, Infinity, Next Element, and Exo Assassins all coming in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23 with 0 points. We do have quite a few ties up here in the top 10 or a top 11. So we have Team Fate, Locus, and Team S with 12 points. We could definitely see them kind of pick it up here for the last match here in a Sandhawk. We could even see X-Rated kind of come out on top here, being it's Sandhawk as well. They could quickly get these eliminations and pull ahead and get ahead of Rain Esports, where they have 33 points right now. We have a lot of, again, we have a few teams that are tied, so it's going to be make or break here for some of these teams that are tied to be able to get those elimination points and placement points to break that tie and either to advance up into the top 10, top 5, or even kind of drop down, depends on which teams. All right, and we're going to get here in that flight path. All right, Sandhawk it is. Sandhawk is a very small map, a very small land map as well as that. Well, we do have a really good flight path. With this flight path, you can get to just about anywhere here. So we've got a Paradise Resort, we've got Pan Am, and we've got Boot Camp. Those 3 places could potentially be hotspots for these teams tonight. And we have quite a few that are kind of going into the Boot Camp area. We do have one team that is in a Paradise Resort. They do have that all there by themselves. All right, the Sinners starting out match, our last match here with being just a team of 3. It quickly dropped down to a team of 2. And looks like player F12 is still kind of coasting in. Let's go see where they are at. They might be actually disconnected though. All right, it is going to be up to player F12 to make it alive. All right, we have Hot 10. We got 2 teams up there, and then we have Entity Gaming and a Team Fate. Alright, Team Fate right off the bat here is getting some elimination points. They do have 1 elimination point. Headed right over into Boot Camp. Real Runners Esports with 5 elimination and in control of boot camp. Alright, and 4 sexy frogs kind of getting out of the Paradise Resort area. Looks like they're going to be heading over to Camp Bravo. Problem does have a eyes on, nicely done, does get a confirmed kill. We're down to just 12 teams that remain. Entity Gaming quickly down to gonna be a solo, and no, they are down and out really quickly here. Team Fate with 4 eliminations. Team Control with 4 eliminations, and they are sitting side Pan An. And Velocity has a member down. Let's see, can they get that revive? That is going to be a tough revive. And we have 10 teams that remain. And Zoopy coming in, going to be able to get revived, it looks like, if they can get it in a time. And they do. Zoopy is going to be back up on their feet, and they're going to heal up very nicely here. So it's going to be keeping Velocity a full squad. Bot is down for Velocity. Are they going to be able to come in very quickly and get a revive here? All right, we do have a few members of Team 19 that's up there on the hill. All right, let's go take a look at Fate as they are trying to get across the bridge. And Darky gets a shot as is trying to get into zone. All right, Darky is down. Are they going to be able to get that revive? And Team 20, Team Fate is very quickly down and out. All right, just 8 teams remain for match number 4. Afro ESports. Ooh, Bill goes down long range. Dimples there was definitely had the perfect angle and was able to quickly take one of the members out. Our zone is closing in. All right, our teams are starting to bunch up in Pan Am. Controls Star inside Pan Am. And Velocity started out as a full squad, but is now down to just a solo. Let's see if Quack can hold their own. Our zone is about to shift here. Spence down it. All right, we have about 3 teams that are inside the zone, but we do have a total of 6. So if they all get inside the zone, it is going to be absolutely crazy going on. All right, looks like we do have a Panan end of the zone. This is going to be absolutely crazy for these last 6 teams. And we are definitely still with those 6 teams that remain. All right, Chat GPT and OK are the last 2 that it still stands for Afro Esports. Our zone is about to close in. Let's see where it goes. These teams got just a little bit of room here for it. GPT down and out. Nicely done. Alright, team of control. They're going to be inside the zone here just a little bit. They're going to be quickly run through and grab anything extra that they need. First aids, meds, anything like that, so they can stay alive for this blue zone. All right, 4 teams that remain. We have Dark. We have X-rated Velocity. In team control, those 3 teams are inside the blue zone. All right, Dark Esports kind of coming into the zone just out of nowhere, but this is going to be a wide open area for these teams. And Control is going to be our team that has the most players that are still standing. X-Rated and Velocity both have a single player that is still alive. Right, Velocity kind of holding back and waiting just a little bit. KD 22. And trying to get to some other members so they can ooh. Team Control Star taking that chicken at dinner for match number 4. X-Rated coming in second, Velocity coming in third, and Dark coming in fourth. Five through 7. Eight through 10th. 11 through 13th. And 14 through 16. All right, going all out with 5 eliminations. Goes to Shagain. All right, that is it for tonight's Sushi World Wednesday scrimmage. If the results come out here momentarily, we'll get them up on the screen for you guys. But until then, we shall wait. All right, here it is. The final results. And X-Rated coming in first with 47 points. Coming in the second, Team Control Star with 46, just trailed behind by 1 point. Dark coming in third with 41. Rain Esports dropped down quite a bit, all the way down to fourth with 33. Vikings coming in fifth with 28. Velocity coming in sixth with 28. Entity Gaming coming in seventh with 23. Manic coming in eighth with 23. Team S coming in ninth with 22. Locse coming in 10th with 18. Team Fate coming in 11th with 18 as well. Real Gunners Esports coming in 12th with 17. 4 Sexy Frogs coming in 13th with 17. Afro ESports coming in 14th with 7. Invincible coming in 15th with 7 as well. HexFall coming in 16th with 4. Sinners coming in 17th with 3. NeverMind Extreme Rain and Naple on top. Infinity, Next Element, and Exo Assassins coming in 17, 19, 7, or 18 through 23. Those teams coming in with 0. The official scores will be in the Discord of Sushi's World, guys, so go check them out. And if you want to get in onto these scrimmages, hop into their server, and you and your team can be signed up and be able to play in these scrimmages as well. All right, until next time, guys, I will catch y'all at a later time on another stream. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday evening.